Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to an episode of Total War Arena. So, we are taking a look for the first time at Germanicus since closed beta. I've not had him out at all. Yes, I thought I'd finally actually have a game with him, see what he's like, since some of the changes that have happened to him. And yeah, he's very good as a commander. Germanicus is absolutely brilliant. I'm just not a massive fan myself. So yeah, we're going to take him out with the Roman Tier 5 Principes. I have got the next unit unlocked, but since this is kind of the start of Vengeance and the start of what Germanicus is kind of all about, I thought, well, let's give it a try with this. So yeah, it's all about the power of the Vengeance, basically. You know, that unending, really high melee weapon damage, melee attack sort of ability that once you get stuck into those big fights, you know, gives you sort of that real solid power base. I mean, not to mention the fact that you're working with a really good, strong base unit this tier. Anyway, these Principes, however you say it. They have really quite good body armor and shield armor values to work with, and they also have really good amounts of melee attack and melee weapon damage for their tier, which kind of makes them really resilient and is capable of doing a good amount of damage. Plus, that all in all, they are, while they're slow, 3.6, they're not horrifically slow. Well, they are actually, aren't they? 3.6 is pretty horrific, but it doesn't feel so bad at this tier anyway. Yeah, and then combined with the fact that obviously you get that Avengers just makes them really quite a good unit. But the reason I don't like them is I find them pretty boring to play. I much prefer playing with Sulla, where you have, you know, the options you're trying to bait out enemy Vengeance. You can use the extra whip to get the extra bit of movement speed, combined with Fortify and Prescription. It makes them a much more interesting combination, in my opinion, than just walking near someone, charge into them and press Vengeance and just wait. So that's why I'm not such a fan of Germanicus as a commander. But anyway, let's hop into battle and maybe we can change my mind. So, we are loading into battle with our Principes. I'm probably going to go up to this top patch, normally where the bulk of the troops spawn, and I want to be sticking with some allied support and stuff. I don't want to get too isolated on our own. Obviously, we are top tier, so we can sort of throw our weight around a little bit without worrying too much. Particularly as a Roman infantry, it's really quite good at this sort of tier. So yeah, let's just kind of see what we are going to encounter. Quite a few Germanicuses as well kicking around, along with some Scipios. It's a very Roman-based team, actually. So we'll have to just see what the enemy composition is. I'll move up. Nice if these archers decided to come with us. Let's just see if they want to. No, they don't. They're going to go down that way on their own. Brilliant. So we'll use heavy charge to gain a little bit of ground. It's got a fairly short cooldown, so I'm not too worried about that. And let's just push up towards the flag, see what we encounter. These archers decided to come back and come with us in the end. That's good. I'd rather have a bit of range support because we don't really know what we're going to be encountering in terms of enemy infantry. And I very much doubt we can get to over 100 missile block jams. 47 plus 48. Oh, not quite. We'll actually be pretty close there at this tier. We're like 97 or something. Which is nigh on missile 100% missile block chance. So, nothing to capture the flag yet, so that suggests there's not much in the way of enemy cavalry kick. Oh, there we go. So, yeah, not much in the way of enemy cavalry, which is still true. I don't know why he's got into Testudo there before he's about to fight some Romans. Warriors, something I would certainly be keen on taking a fight with. There's the enemy archers. So, what have we got? Warriors, Principes, Warriors. Well, bar the Scorched Earth, I'm not too worried about those guys as a unit. Just got to be really careful not to blob ourselves. Just standing here is not going to help us. You know, if we're going for this, let's go for it. We've got our archers coming up. Let's just deal with what we've got, which is going to be... I forgot I had a heavy infantry charge. That was not a particularly auspicious start. I'm going to go straight in with Vengeance on this guy. They've gone in with Vengeance on him as well. Am I going to stay or am I going to pull out? Has everyone gone Vengeance? They haven't. I'm now on fire. Let's pull out here. Since they decided to pull out as well. We're going to go for a jab in 3, 2, 1, jab. Try and get a bit of knockback. There we go. And then it's going to give us a bit of a clear run to have a go at pulling back. Now, I'd rather our allies weren't advancing into this fight. Wait, I didn't tell you to move up. So it's all pulled back. We're sort of getting a bit overwhelmed there. That's why I didn't pop all my Vengeance at once. We're just getting completely outnumbered, and we're getting outflanked by these barbarians as well. We saw something briefly just skit across here as well. They're trying to get down. There they are. Oh, that wasn't a particularly well done charge. I was trying to catch up to them, but it didn't really pan out for me. I don't know how much of his vengeance that guy activated. Kind of reluctant to getting stuck into a fight with him. Pull back a little bit. We've got more allied support up here. Let's just reform here. We've got these pikes coming down. Also look like we're capping out the enemy base by the looks of things. We're going to get burnt here. Why can I not use my peelers? There we go. Fairly effective against those barbarians in that sort of situation. Okay, so we've got our pike phalanx moving up. We've got our archers here. Let's consider getting back on the offensive. They're also under pressure from base cap, which they're trying to delay. So yes, this is our best time to try and push in now. I'd particularly like to engage some of these people, like some of these warriors, is what I'd really like to engage. Maybe we can slow them down enough with a javelin toss. Yes. I foresee it working now. Going for a charge, I'm just going to go with all units. Because it'll get the nice flank on them as I was planning. They're going to go Defiance, but it doesn't really worry me. I'm not going to Vengeance on one unit like this, because it's just not worth it. Not particularly as I'll basically lose Vengeance for the rest of the game. But the Romans are just superior on open ground fighting like this. It's just not really a problem for me. Even with him in Defiance, you can see the amount of damage I'm taking is just insignificant compared to what he is. Soon, it's only low tier for Defiance will end, which it has. Most of his people dying. Low health, he shall be dead very soon. So we've got quite a bit of stuff going on in base, but there's also got a bit of a nice fight breaking out up here, particularly with some of this enemy cavalry. Come on, kill the last unit if we can. There we go, his Iron Discipline's ended. So what have we got going on down here? Just a bit of a chaotic melee, really. I'm not sure if that's a fight I'm particularly keen to get involved in or not. Well, it looks like we're getting capped out, so I probably do need to get in here, if nothing else, just to get inside the cap circle. Because we're going to start suffering decaps, but they've got all their pikemen in there already. Okay. Let's try and get inside this cap circle. I'm going to keep 2 units just in, out the way. And our aggression should really be starting to ramp up now. Melee weapon damage increasing significantly, as well as our melee attack. Looks like, yeah, the rest of these Romans are in vengeance as well. As you can see, we're both sort of scoring pretty evenly on the damage front. And now I've got my 2 units at the back to try and sort of get the cap out. And obviously, if I put them into combat, then they are also going to lose their cap points. I will put them into Testudo, though. Gives them a bit of resilience against enemy missile fire, although probably not still completely impervious as we discussed earlier. It's not going to get to 100 on the missile block chance, I don't think. At this tier, no, 95, yeah, not quite enough. Looks like we've got a few units back though to try and harass these guys, so it looks like we're doing a good job of delaying the enemy capture. And there goes the rest of those guys there. Let's see, obviously we've got 10 seconds left on this vengeance. Probably can't get close enough to do anything. You never know. Go for a charge there. Oh, we do. See, that's where the barbarians made a massive mistake there. If he had been really paying attention to what was going on, he should have seen that I was in vengeance, or in the process of running out of the vengeance. If he'd just pulled back for a couple of seconds, then, you know, I'd have lost my vengeance and would not be getting it back. And yet now, he has to fight me in full vengeance, and, you know, it's just not a fair fight. I'm getting just such a significantly higher proportion of damage. You know, my melee weapon damage is now, what, 316? My hits are landing for 220s, 230s. It's very easy for me to get really good amounts of damage in this sort of situation. 16,000 for 900, you know, you can see that that's the sort of comparison you get if you are going to be fighting a vengeance head on, which is why vengeance is so brutal in this sort of situation. I'm quite happy to leave these 2 units here. Oh, leave my archers alone. Shouldn't be doing that. Go for a heavy infantry charge, nicely clubbed together. Alright, should be enough to rear flank them, which it is. They have set me on fire, which is not quite so ideal. Let's push forwards. They're going to rout anyway. Let's get out of there. Our vengeance is still going. Bring us round. Heavy infantry charge. Straight into the back of these warriors. And let's get stuck in again. Vengeance lasts forever in this sort of situation. They're just prime for this sort of thing. It's exactly what you want to be doing, because you can just keep your vengeance on. You know, these Hastati are more than welcome to come into the back of me. It's really not a problem because I can just turn around and munch them up as well. And it just gives me a nice stacking aggression. I could think about bringing in some more of my units, to be honest. But really, it's just not needed. I mean, you can see the sort of the damage we can get on these guys. We should continually be able to munch through these. Continue our vengeance and continuing to rack up some good amount of damage. Because they're pretty much dead already. Try and get a flank on that last one. Come on, kill him. He's going to rout anyway. I think, yeah, there we go. I think that is pretty much the bulk of the enemy forces left, so we're just going to get ourselves a few more cap points, although it looks like we've maxed out on that. Yeah, so just going to show how even just one unit with Vengeance can be quite a dominant force in the battlefield, because that Vengeance never runs out until, you know, it's out of combat for more than 10 seconds. So, you know, if you're fighting a Vengeance player, you have to make sure that you leave them disengaged for a sufficiently long period of time. You know, click on that unit and it will tell you when it goes off. You can see it in the top left corner. You know, if that Barbarian player had waited, he would have still struggled head-to-head with Roman infantry a tier higher than him, but it would have been certainly less of a one-sided fight than it was fighting it while I've got a full Vengeance activated. So, yeah, that kind of just sums up Roman infantry, really. And this, in many ways, that is a prime example of why I don't like them. Or particularly I don't like them with Germanicus, because, you know, I can just walk into the cap circle, 2 units, just stick them in Testudo, and then wander around with 1 unit on Vengeance and just wreck anything, really, bar other things on Vengeance. It's just, you know, it's kind of not that much to do. It's just heavy infantry gameplay in a nutshell, particularly with Germanicus. So that's why I much prefer Sulla. I think you get much more flexibility, particularly in terms of movement speed and stuff. And yeah, it's just much more fun. That's why I'm not a huge fan of Germanicus. But he is a very good commander, and, you know, Vengeance is a very good ability. So certainly not one to underestimate. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Total War Arena content, and I shall see you all on the next video.